So last week I was watching a programme on TV focusing on the topic of breastfeeding and breastfeeding issues. So I thought it was really interesting what they were talking about, sort of whether a woman should breastfeed her children. It'll strengthen their immune system, for example, protect them from colds, germs getting into them. Really, it's a healthier option. But really, very few women actually do breastfeed in this country as compared to the rest of the world. We tend to use a lot more formula, sort of feeding babies in a bottle. But it doesn't have enough vitamins and minerals to protect them from sort of these germs. But I mean, on this programme I saw one woman, she had twins, and she was breastfeeding both twins out of each breast at the same time. I thought, you know what, that's very brave, isn't it? The government reckon really the best age to sort of stop breastfeeding your child is about 2. But really, it doesn't matter how old they are. Really, you should carry on for as long as you can. There's a lot of women as well. They've got breast cancer in their family history, which can prevent them from breastfeeding. But I mean, if you do breastfeed, you actually reduce the risk of actually getting breast cancer in the first place. There's also another woman on this programme, and she was still feeding her daughter at 8. She's breastfeeding. Really, I feel that's a bit wrong. You've got teeth at that age, you could be biting. Also, there was a bit in the programme where she was throwing a tantrum because she wasn't allowed to breastfeed. She was there going, Mum, I can't suck. And there was this argument, and she got really upset, and I was thinking, really, for an 8-year-old, that's not normal. She needs to go to school. How is she eating at school? She can't take her mother's breast with her. The mother feels, though, sort of, I can understand this, the mother feels that she's got a connection with the daughter because of this. There was another different mother as well, and she had a 4-year-old child, and she was still breastfeeding. But she was thinking of potentially adopting a Chinese baby as well. So she really wanted this Chinese baby, and she flew over to China and adopted a beautiful little Chinese girl. I think she was about 2. So she took her back to this hotel, looked at her, and she tried to sort of almost force her to breastfeed, but the baby really didn't want any of this. So she used her other child, the 4-year-old, and breastfed that, and the Chinese baby watched, but really she didn't fancy it. So the mother was thinking, really, I do want to breastfeed her, due to sort of the natural prevention of germs and flu. But if she wasn't going to suckle, then what can you do? So she opted for using a spoon and squeezing the breast milk onto the spoon, then feeding it to her like that. I feel that's wrong, really. My views, I think really, should you have a baby, the most natural way to feed it is to breastfeed it. And I think really, when they get to about 2 and their teeth start to come through, you shouldn't carry on from there. I think that's sort of a natural sign. So the mother with the 8-year-old daughter, I think really, I don't think that's appropriate. When she starts integrating in full-time school and becomes a bit more independent, you don't want her latching onto a mother all the time. Also, I think when it comes to adopting children, I don't think it's the mother's right to force that child to breastfeed. I understand, obviously, when you have your own child and you breastfeed that because you're from the same family, that baby came from inside of you. But really, to adopt another child, forcing them to drink your breast milk isn't really the best option, I don't think. I think it'd be okay if you didn't have to force them, but I think, the term forcing is wrong. I think if you want to squeeze the breast milk into a bottle and then give it to your adopted child, that's different, but I think forcing them to actually suckle is very wrong.